Let me go.
In King's Landing, the capital of the Seven Kingdoms, the air feels tense and heavy. Power, pride, and revenge fill the streets. One day, Cersei Lannister arrives at the massive and sacred Great Sept of Baelor. The grand building towers over the city, but beneath it lies a dark and miserable dungeon where prisoners are kept. Cersei has come to visit her daughter-in-law, Margaery Tyrell. When she enters the cold dungeon cell, the sight is shocking. Margaery is curled up in the corner of the small, dirty room. She looks weak and exhausted. Her once beautiful clothes are gone, replaced by filthy rags. Her hair is messy, and her face is pale. Cersei pretends to feel sorry for her. She speaks softly, offering sympathy for Margaery's suffering. But the truth is different. Deep inside, Cersei is secretly enjoying Margaery's downfall. However, Margaery sees through the act immediately. She refuses to accept Cersei's fake kindness. She is tired, angry, and done pretending to be polite. With cold eyes, she tells Cersei to leave her alone. Cersei walks out of the dungeon. This time, she does not even try to hide the cruel smile on her face. She is clearly enjoying what she has just seen. After leaving the cells, Cersei goes to meet the High Septon, better known as High Sparrow. His chamber is simple and empty, very different from the luxury of the royal palace. The room looks old, almost ancient, and there is barely any decoration. Cersei begins discussing the upcoming trial. The High Sparrow calmly explains that if Margaery and her brother Loras Tyrell are found guilty, they will be forced to perform penance. Then the High Sparrow reveals something shocking. He tells Cersei that some time ago, a young man came to him. He confessed every sin he had ever committed. According to the High Sparrow, those sins were shared with Cersei, and in fact, many of her own sins were even worse. At that moment, the door opens. Into the room steps Lancel Lannister. Finally, the truth hits her. She immediately tries to leave the room, but as she reaches the door, a tall scepter blocks her path. When Cersei attempts to push past, the woman refuses to move. Within seconds, Cersei screams again and again. She is dragged away and thrown into a dark prison cell beneath the Great Sept of Baelor. Even as the scepters lock the door, Cersei continues shouting threats, but the scepters calmly shut the door on her furious screams. Deep in the dark cells beneath the sept, Cersei finally decides to confess one of her crimes. She admits that she had an affair with Lancel. However, she insists that none of the other accusations are true. The High Sparrow considers her confession. He decides it is enough for a temporary mercy. Cersei will be allowed to return to the Red Keep until her trial by battle, but there is a price. Before she can return home, she must perform a public act of penance, a Walk of Atonement. Her punishment is brutal. Every piece of clothing is removed. Her long golden hair is cut short. Completely naked and humiliated, Cersei is forced to walk through the crowded streets of King's Landing. Members of the Faith Militant surround her as guards. Behind her walks Septa Unella, ringing a bell over and over again while repeating the same cruel word: shame, shame, shame. As Cersei walks through the city, the people grow more and more hostile. The small folk shout insults they have held back for years against their cruel and distant queen. Rotten fruit and vegetables are thrown at her. People spit at her. Some even throw stones. Step by painful step, Cersei continues walking while the crowd screams and mocks her. By the time she finally reaches the gates of the Red Keep, the once powerful Queen Mother and proud lioness of Casterly Rock is barely standing. With the last of her strength, she crosses the gates and collapses inside the safety of the castle. Nearby stand Kevan Lannister, the Hand of the King, and Grand Maester Pycelle. Only Qyburn shows her genuine sympathy, but then something else happens. Heavy footsteps echo through the hall. Qyburn smiles slightly and introduces the newest member of the Kingsguard. The knight is none other than the terrifying Sir Gregor Clegane, now reborn as an unstoppable monster. In their place, a new emotion rises: vengeance. And deep inside her mind, Cersei begins dreaming about the revenge that will soon come.